Hi, welcome to Modern Spiritual. I'm Aeson Knight, and sitting down with me tonight is Lady Gwendolyn Ravenstone. How are you, darling?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me tonight.
Not a problem, darling. You know I'd enjoy bringing you over here, and we are going to clarify. Yes, Lady Gwendolyn has been one of my students and continues to work with me. So it'll be a
Absolutely.
little different because I haven't sat her down for an interview for about 5 years, and she's grown up a lot. Um, so how'd you get into this?
So it just kind of happened. So I've always had gifts, but I never really paid any attention to them. And then I got my first tarot deck, and I was never really able to connect with it. So I started with Oracle, and I like Oracle was my jam. That's what I said. I was like,
Right.
I can do Oracle, no problem. And then I took one of your classes,
Mhm.
your tarot class, and I did tarot study group with a couple other people, and really learned a lot, and I was finally able to make some sense of it for
Right.
myself.
Yeah, because it's complicated.
Because it doesn't mean the same thing for everyone.
Right.
And and I don't have to use my tarot cards all the time, but
Right.
they are one of my favorite tools.
Right. And so growing up, you grew up where?
Okay, this is Central West Virginia, in literally in the middle of the mountains, with in the little hollers with little streams, and going to the lake and swimming in the lake. I am 100% Appalachian mountain woman.
Yeah. You grew up, so, and it's kind of special in this area because, in this area, we still have we have literally a culture that was untouched for 200 years.
Hmm.
And with that, it left a lot of the old world spirituality alone. And I think that if I remember correctly, you originally started working with your clairs, but you began using them for paranormal, being a sensitive there.
Yes, yes. So back in like 2000, I started with a team, and the leader was someone I had known since I was, what did we call it, knee high to a grasshopper.
Uh huh.
So I started working with them, and I was able to have these visions, see things, feel things, and able to start communicating with the other side, enough to where I was able to help those energies cross over until their most peaceful
Hmm.
self. Um, so I did that work for probably about 10 years,
Hmm.
and I tried to get out of it. Every time I try to walk away from it, it
Very
keeps
good.
pulling me
Come on back over here, young lady.
back.
Young lady, you got more work to do over here.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Your work ain't over yet.
And that's interesting how spirit plays with us and goes, oh yeah, you can go over there and explore this or explore that, but you're going to be coming back over here. Like there is no reason to put up your paranormal gear because you're going to need it anyhow. That's cute. You thought you can go buy that again. Thank you very much. That type of thing. That's why people always wonder why psychics have so much stuff. My attic's full of it. It's because we never know when we're getting pulled back into something.
Right, right. And my equipment may be outdated. Like, I have an old cassette tape audio recorder,
Uh huh.
and I have some digital as well, but
Right.
you don't even need these anymore. But they're good to have.
Well, I don't know. It's like they have apps for tarot now, and I'm very much like anti-app for
Yeah,
tarot. You know,
yeah.
yes, I can record on my phone, but that's not going to pick up the EFPs or anything like that. So I would keep them. I still have a cassette recorder around here somewhere, because, recording different things and playing with spirit. What has been some of your funner times doing that?
Okay, so I had been contacted quite a few times from television stations and different series, and my the leader of my team was actually on a television show.
Mm-hmm.
So and told his story, but they always wanted scary stories, and I never had a scary story.
Uh-huh.
I had a beautiful connection
Uh-huh.
between two spirits.
Right.
Should I tell that story?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we were in this beautiful little White House in southern West Virginia. And the story goes that there was a lot of activity, and the husband was I believe a carpenter, and the wife was a teacher and a dancer, and we had shadows of a dog. So we found the dog pretty early on,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to the second floor. Well, since the wife was a dancer and they lived in the 40s, I came prepared.
Uh-huh.
I brought some music that they would have been dancing to at that point in time. And, husband and wife just, we could tell that they were there, but they wasn't able to connect with each other. So when the music played, and see, we didn't have the rig set up to where you had multiple cameras at the same time,
Right.
hitting everything, but it would have been a beautiful sight. We had these white balls of light come in from the left and the right sides of the room, and and start kind of swirling in front of us, and then they just kind of started drifting in a dance together, and then they just drifted off in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And like, still to this day, I get the cold chills when I talk about it, because I I feel like it was one of the most beautiful spiritual experiences that I've ever had.
How cool. And that happens a lot. I don't know. I stopped watching them probably 10 years ago
Oh, I can't watch any of the shows.
because they're so ridiculous.
I get so frustrated. I
Yeah.
was like, that's not right at all.
Yeah. And that's not a demon, and that's not this, and that's not that. The last show, I think it was, they were exploring London, and every time they turned around, there was a demon there. And I'm like, there isn't any demons in London.
They're not
It's cold.
demons.
Yeah. It's too damn cold. No demon wants to go to London.
They're not demons.
Right. But you also have a big passion though with working with you are one of the largest card collectors I know.
Yes, I do like to explore all different types of divination.
Mhm. And you've gotten a lot of training in different divinations. You read,
hmm
what's the one? What's the chicken bone one I make fun of you all the time about?
The osteomancy set that I created.
Yes. You read osteomancy. You read the pendulum. You're getting into astrology. That class is coming. I promise. You got a lot there. That's 30 years of study. You're
hmm
working with the tarot, different forms of the tarot, because there's now like 3 or 4 systems running around here. Rider and Waite really felt that we will have only one
hmm
system, but you also do something different. A lot of your work is very much different from what we see from a lot of psychics now.
It's specific.
It is. You work with shadow work.
Yes. So my uh speciality, my premier focus is working on helping people evolve and work through parts of themselves that they don't like or that is giving them issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I use tarot to kind of, if you're kind of lost and you don't know what exactly it is that you're working on, then we do something that I call trauma and tarot. I made that a hashtag. It is everywhere. But it is, we draw 3 cards to look at the issue of what is at the root and like what you need to work on. And we focus from there on different pathways that are open up to you and how you can best go about exercising those actions the best way for you. So
right. And with that, we'll get into that a little bit more deeper at the second half of the show. But with that, you're able to really help like work on patterns, change behaviors. It's almost like digging into, well, why do you only date married men? Why do you only do this? Why do you only do that?
Yes. What patterns do you have that we can break through? Yes.
And that can get a little difficult sometimes to get into. And so you've worked really heavy with clients that way.
Yes, I have.
On Keen. She is a Keen psychic, guys.
Yes.
So looking for Lady Gwendolyn Ravenstone. She's only on Keen. We'll get her out there as she gets more comfortable because, she originally started as a chat advisor.
Yes.
You do.
And I have been with Keen for a little over a year now. And the first whole year I was chat only. And I developed a good base there. And I love my clients from my chat. And we're just now starting to get into calls, and some of those calls have come over to chat with me instead of the calls. So I'm still available for calls. That's mostly during the daytime, and then whenever I'm in the evening, then I switch to chat. But I love the chat option, and I guess it's like we kind of talked about like the newer generation coming in.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but we do so much text messaging now and communicating now. That's better within your wavelength, within your time there. And, I'm sure that way you're easy, it isn't. What I remember most is you never wanted inflection. Like, am I hitting this? Am I getting there? You wanted to finish the ring and go, okay, now how did I do? So you like being more of what I call the blonde psychic reading. Where you can actually sit there and give the information you're getting and not get overly responded to, because you want to work through what you see, because a lot of times psychics like that instant feedback, like, give me a cookie because I said that he's a boy, and you prefer more so to work through everything with your clients. All right, darling, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about a little bit more of your training, because you do a lot more than just throwing a few cards and playing with some chicken bones.
Okay.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
I found out that my husband had been cheating on me, and my whole world turned upside down.
I stressed over any and everything, constantly waiting for the next shoe to drop.
I was attracted to a psychic advisor to get clarity.
I was like, there's no way that's real. But the things that were coming up felt so accurate.
I really need that unbiased, non-judgmental advice. If there's some part of your life that is not quite fitting in, you maybe want to try something that you haven't tried before.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
All right, and we are back. So you do osteomancy.
Yes.
You do the pendulum, which
Yes.
is, talk about how that can actually be used to do more than yes, no.
Okay, so there are people use the pendulum not just for, let me pull it out here. I do have it on a stand. But you can use the pendulum in people with folk magic, like my ancestors, the Appalachian, you would use it to do pregnancy predictions and child predictions. I am not doing that. That is nothing that I do. So I just need to clarify that.
Right. Yeah,
But pendulum is good for focusing energies. And you can also use the pendulum out in nature to find water sources and springs as well.
Now, which stone is your pendulum?
This is actually a gold stone. So I will show
Very
you.
nice.
Look at that sparkle. Yes.
So that's good to find gold if you want to go gold panning with it. But you also can use it for love questions or to check the energy of a situation.
Yes. And that's the one I dedicate use for whenever I'm doing readings of that caliber. But I do have other ones as well for other specific purposes.
Right. Because it's very important what the bottom stone is. Like if you were going to work with love, you'd want like rose quartz, that type of thing. You also work with different crystals, different situations with that. And then you've got a lot of cards. We're going to show off some of your prettiest later, I promise.
Okay. All right.
But you are very much into building community and working with communities. You're not a psychic that's just in her room. You do a lot of different interactions, different community buildings. Plus, you're always studying. Like every time I turn around, you've got a stack of books in front of you.
Well, I do enjoy having certifications. I am constantly a student, forever a student. Okay, so disclaimer, I am a Virgo. So I love, the research. So I actually keep my certifications directly in front of me. Like I can look at them right now because it's a reminder that I did that. And I did that so that I can help other people. That is my mission in life. And that's all I ever want to do.
Right. And you don't list them on your Keen page because we'd have to extend your character count.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've worked with angels, you're into astrology, you do crystals, you do something called access bars where you can't do it online.
No.
Just a little bit of information about what access bars is. So if someone's got a question about it, you can talk about it.
Yes, I can. So it's a type of energy healing. Access bars are 32 points all over your head, like your forehead, down the sides behind your ears, and in the back. That once lightly touched in certain ways, they release the pressure and the energy in your brain. If you are a techie type person, then you understand the word defragmented, and that is essentially what is happening. The energy work is defragmenting and getting rid of all of that nasty stuff loosened up in your mind and breaking that free.
Right. And then you've also worked in Reiki.
Yes. So I managed to put all of my energy work together and create my own access bars, Reiki, style. But I like throw everything into a session.
Yeah.
And like with the crystals, the sound healing, because I'm doing that. And I just like it's an overall healing experience. So
Yeah.
when
Now,
you come,
you just got to get you to where you can figure out how to do it through the chat line or through. I think it would be easier through the phone line because then you can talk people through where to place their hands.
Yes, and there are some like I can give one right now to our audience.
Well, go for it.
Okay.
Remember that it's on replay though, so they can
Right,
do it then.
right. So this is something that we naturally do anyway. So when we have anxiety, we kind of tend to just go, that's it. We are automatically touching pressure points. Let me kind of raise up here. In like our upper cheek area, right here, right below our eyes, and the middle of our forehead, right above that. Like make your little googly eyes. And just close your eyes and lightly press there and take 3 deep breaths whenever you are anxious. Let's try that right now. In and out. Okay. So hopefully you feel a little distressed, a little less stressed, and connected a little bit better. But yeah, it's something that we automatically do that helps us.
Yeah. So what's been your favorite tarot deck so far?
My favorite tarot deck. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I did not bring it in here.
That's okay.
It is the Celestial Tarot, actually. And I like it because it mixes in the constellations and astrology in with that tarot.
Okay.
And so it is absolutely my favorite, and I have it at my main desk that I use whenever I'm in there.
Yeah. Now, do you use certain tarot decks for certain styles of readings, or do you just grab whichever one?
Yes, I do. First of all, every place I like have 3 locations that I have tarot decks. Because you can't just I mean, you never know when you're gonna need them, right?
Right.
But I have one deck that I like to specifically use, especially for the trauma and tarot, and then I have certain ones that I like to use just for like relationships. Right. So if I would get a love and relationships call, I like immediately I know which deck to grab.
Right. Do you also take time to cleanse those?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love the people always think I'm being so mean to my decks because they'll hear me do this when we switch topics. Like, did you just slam your deck? No, I just cleansed it so we can go on to look at the next relationship you want to look at. That type of thing. So with that, what has been some of the struggles? Readers don't talk about some of the struggles they get into. What has been some of your struggles with reading?
Struggles with readings. I think the hardest part is I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I will not sugarcoat.
Yeah.
I don't want. I mean, you may get mad at me, but I'm gonna tell you what I see, what I'm being told.
Right.
Like I don't. I mean, you're calling me for help, and I I want to give you your best chance at moving forward.
Right. And moving forward in a positive direction.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of those things with clients is they've got to understand that when we give readings, we're not going to sugarcoat it. If he's a jackass, I'm telling him you're a jackass. You know, you're dating a jackass, so either go and buy some carrots so you can drag him along here, or take a new applicant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, and I find like, I've got a deck called the Black Tarot, and it cuts like a knife. It don't care. It is mad. It was mad. The artist that drew it knew that it was going to be one of those heavy set of your decks. When I grab it, I know that reading is going to be one that's like, okay, buckle up, sugar, because we're going to ride through here and like eliminate half your issues by eliminating the people. You're also very much try to get people to understand they're more than what they see themselves are. Like, you work a lot with mental health, even though we don't diagnose, but you give like techniques like journaling, which is highly important. You know, talk a minute about journaling and why it needs to be put more into life.
So I like journaling as one point, because then whenever you go back, you can see what you did and what you would have done differently. And that's essentially shadow work and all that I do. But that's my key point for it. I also like, you know, helping people with breathing techniques and things like that to help calm them whenever they're in a situation, whenever their anxiety is high. Because whenever we get a call, a lot of the times our clients are in a panicked state. And I mean, they're coming to us, and we need to get you calmed down a little bit before we can, you know, get anywhere.
Right. And, you know, that's what some people don't get is sometimes, you know, especially if you're using your clairs, which, you know, when we come back from break, we'll talk about the Clairsentient, Clairaudient, that type of thing, and your view of them. Because I think a lot of people hear the words, think they understand the words, but don't really get the words. But, you know, when they're coming, like me, I love my clients to have a list of questions, so we can just go one after another. How do you like yours? Are you more conversational? Do you like shotgun read? How do you like the regular read?
Okay, so I'd like for them to lead. If they have a question and they come off with it, I am all in. All right, let's go. But if they're general, then I am more than happy to, it's like, all right, this is what I see. Now, what questions do you have about it? And does your questions actually correlate with anything that I've told you? Because I just went in blind here. Right. And I do find a lot of the times I've hit the nail on the head, but you know, but you're right with that Q&A. It gets you to the point faster, and let's, you know, get to the issue and the answers quicker, and it saves everybody time and money.
Time and money, but at the same time, then I can understand for me, it's like, where am I at? Am I earlier this year when you were meeting the guy? Am I sitting here watching you have an argument in the car as you're driving crazy? Where are we at here? Because from my Clairsentient and my Clairvoyant, I have to figure out where in the tape you are, so I can go, oh, I need to go look for a car. Where's the car at? Oh, here's the car in the argument going on. Ah, yep, he was lying then. All right, let's grab a break. When we come back, let's dig into that shadow box and that shadow work.
Okay.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
For so long, everything was difficult because I was allowing it to be and almost finding more comfort in that chaos.
My psychic advisor really helped me stop and take a breath and look within and be okay with what was happening right now.
Having that 24/7 access is amazing. Just a quick moment to get some clarity.
We are here on a journey, and we can't always control it. All we can do is be along for the ride.
All right, welcome back. So, let's talk about some of the statements in there, like "be along for the ride."
Now, see, I was going to comment on the King commercial because I'm a King girl. So it was just funny to actually watch the commercial because that's the work that I'm in here for,
Right.
is to help people grow, and that's been my whole thing: grow and heal, change. Except that the path that you are on is the path you're on for a reason, and we just got to figure out, where you want to go, and it's a lot like life coaching.
Right, and it is. But, let's talk about some of the things that I've heard you talk about in the past, and I'm like, I don't know what this girl's talking about. Inner child.
Okay. Okay. So your inner child is whenever you were little, did you get enough nurturing? Were you understood? Were you quieted? How were you treated by the people around you? And however you were treated affects how you are as an adult. So if you were told children are to be seen and not heard, then you struggle to have a voice whenever you grow up. You struggle to talk about how you feel, and it affects the relationships around you.
Okay.
So not just with, your immediate family, but your partner and things of that nature. So
And trauma.
yes.
Yeah, there's like many layers there on this trauma kick that's been going on. Like, I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's like, deal with your past trauma to have a happy relationship. It's like, my ex is not like my current. What makes trauma? Like someone cutting you off in the grocery line makes trauma. Where are we digging into that at?
Okay, so I am not a licensed therapist.
Right.
So I don't get in too deep.
But
it is with kind of things that are bothering you that you're having trouble letting go with on a more surface level.
Okay.
So if a friend of yours treated you poorly and now you're having trouble letting other people in that are wanting to be good to you and show you love and show you that there's more to life out there than, this person and what they did to you, that's where we're at. That's my level.
Okay. And again, these things can create problem after problem.
Yeah.
And working with that. Okay. So what is Clairaudient?
Okay, so the hearing, the clear hearing, and that is when sometimes you may be sitting around and hearing your name be called, or you'll hear something being told to you, or you will hear a song and the lyrics just jump out at you, or they just repeat in your head and you can't get it out of there. And even if you listen to that song, it's just not gonna go away.
Oh, that drives me. Some songs just drive me insane, especially the later ones like Anti-Hero. It's like, I don't want an anti-hero. I'm more of the generation of I need a hero.
Yes.
I've been wanting to hear those two matched up. I think that would be a great smash down. All right. Clairsentient.
Okay, so is that the knowing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's when something is just for certain, like you just know it beyond a shadow of a doubt. You don't know how you know it.
Right.
It's just I got to tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I was thinking about you, and I need to tell you X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about empathic?
That is the feeling. That is like, and I have actually had situations with clients. I mean, I have with all of these, but where I'm on the phone with the client and I'm like, are you okay? Are you hurting right here? Because I'm feeling like this, this is not a health reading, but I'm, are
Right.
you okay?
Right. Like, what's going, and we get this information. And that's
Yeah.
why clairvoyant is being able to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In your face. It's right there. And, how does yours work? Because mine looks like a bad 1970s TV show.
Okay. So mine are flashes.
Okay.
So I can't, I have yet to get like a little clip or a TikTok, a little short video. I get flashes of like pictures that I have to piece together.
Okay. Get more with that. Like, how detailed is it?
Okay, so it's just like little fragments. So little things, and it's kind of like seeing a tarot card. If you are a tarot card reader, then you throw down a card and the first thing that jumps out at you is a connection. That first thing that you see means something. So that's kind of like what these snapshots are. Like I could get a picture of this person, this vision of this person in a boat, but the type of the boat isn't going to matter. What the person is wearing is what's important.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You sure if the ship's not sinking and you're doing a relationship reading, it doesn't matter what the boat's doing?
Well, you got a point there.
And that's the thing too, is people don't get is, depending on what the psychics like. For me, it's literally watching bad TV. I get to see the awful looking boyfriend that you think is cute, but it's like, no, he really isn't. Look at that slime dripping off of him as bad energy. You get flashes of symbols, basically. Yeah. And you have to figure out where that fits into.
I love symbology. It is like a hidden excitement thing for me. Well, it's not hidden anymore because now I just told it, but I do enjoy knowing the meaning behind things. I'm constantly looking as to the why and the how.
And the with and the when. Like, when did this happen? Why did this happen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, what if someone wanted to start shadow work, what's the first thing they should do?
They should be prepared to accept the fact that what they're about to look into is not going to be easy. It's not a cakewalk. It will break your heart. It's going to allow you to find out things about yourself that you have forgotten. but it's going to bring so much to the surface for you to heal from.
Mhm.
Some things are going to be easy to walk away from.
Mhm.
Not everything will.
Right, and it's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, therapy. It's a long haul. Nothing changes overnight.
No, it doesn't, and it shouldn't change overnight. It should slowly build and grow itself.
Yeah.
And with that, what situations what situations do you not deal well with through shadow work? Like divorce, should you be dealing with that in shadow work, or wait for the divorce to finish and then start doing the shadow work?
Wait until it's over with, because I have found through the work that it is better to have all of the information.
Okay.
That way you're not healing from this and then this and this. I mean, you have all the information and you know what you're going to need to heal from.
Right.
So it's just that you can develop a better plan of action, so that you are working on the right things.
Okay, very interesting. So with that, this is the after effect, right?
Okay, yeah.
Shadow work is for like after effect.
Yeah. Okay. It's whenever you are ready to take that step to change your life.
And what is this evolve thing? Like, are we working to become crystal beings? Are we working?
No, we are. I mean, and this is okay. So I have found that a lot of people live their daily lives and they are depressed, or they just find that so many bad things just keep happening to them over and over and over again. Well, you have to figure out why that is in order to change that perspective. So it's actually just changing your life for the better.
Okay.
So that you can allow some positive things to come your way.
Okay.
And to feel better about yourself, to be in a healthier lifestyle, with healthy relationships and people that are in your life because they are truly there for your best interest.
Okay. And that's something important to work with, is that, developing that and manifesting that. Now, you work with manifestation too.
Absolutely.
And that's where journaling comes in. The more focused journaling, you have your shadow work, which is basically taking off the layers of shielding or armor you've built up. But then you have manifesting, which is where you start guiding and changing your path. How particular does someone have to be with that?
Not really all that put together. I mean, anybody can do that and just start. I mean, start as easy as one wish, and how you would like to attain that goal, and but make sure. I would say the first one that you do, make it something fun, make it something frivolous and exciting. Because once you manifest that thing, it's going to get you pumping and all that excitement's going to come. You're like, oh my gosh, I did it.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make you want to do more. So have some fun with it.
Right. All right, guys, let's take our 45 and we'll be back, and she's going to show me some of her new decks and we'll talk about the qualities.
Okay.
Awesome.
Live tarot and psychic readings. Get 3 free minutes on your first session. Find answers and peace of mind anywhere, anytime. Install Zodiac Psychic now and find your spiritual advisor.
everything was difficult because I was allowing it to be and almost finding more comfort in that chaos.
My psychic advisor really helped me stop and take a breath and look within and be okay with what was happening right now.
Having that 24/7 access is amazing. Just a quick moment to get some clarity.
We are here on a journey, and we can't always control it. All we can do is be along for the ride.
All right. So, Ms. Deck Collector, let's see what deck she got.
All right, so I pulled out 4 different decks,
Okay.
Tarot and Oracle.
Okay, so let's talk about them.
Okay, so the first one is actually, I had on my social media not too long ago, I had put up a post. I had 3 decks. The Supernatural Tarot deck, the Stranger Things Tarot deck, and the Labyrinth Tarot deck. And I had people vote to help me choose which ones to work with. And they decided with the Labyrinth Tarot deck.
Ooh, that looks fun.
So that is Toby on the Sun Tarot deck.
On the Sun card.
They are a good size. I mean, there's the full, but they are really good size. They are still a little stiff, but I'm working them out and I'm using them for my card of the days.
Well, what do you think those cards would be used for? I mean, when you're done exploring that deck, what energy do you think they're going to work for readings?
I feel drawn with them to be more life energy, life guidance.
Okay, very cool.
And I would, and because of it being the labyrinth, it's going on a journey. So I would associate that with going on a journey. So if someone is looking to develop their path in any aspects, I would definitely go with that deck for that.
Very cool. All right, what's the next one you got for us?
Okay, the next one is one that I got recently. I thought was really cute, and it's really good for us psychics to have this. The Self-Care Oracle.
Ooh.
We need that self-care, right?
Right.
So,
It's a really big focus right now in our community of taking and putting ourselves first.
yes. So this card right here, I'll just go ahead and show is, and since Valentine's Day is coming up, this is the love card.
Oh, National Chocolate Day. How lovely.
So the message from the love card is love people. Love them with all of your heart. Just be sure to love yourself first. Didn't you just say that?
I did. Who knows?
It's like you're psychic or something.
Like I'm psychic or something. But no, National Chocolate Day is what I call it. Is coming up.
I believe in love because I have seen it in people's eyes.
You're right. And there is love. But
Yes.
There's a time for self-love. And it's called Dove's Chocolate, in my opinion. Dove's Chocolate is perfect for Self-Love Day, which is the 13th. Valentine's Day is the 14th, and the 15th is what I call Mistress Day.
Yeah.
So go get yourself some nice Dove's Chocolate. Take some time to love yourself with this holiday coming up. Holiday weekend coming up.
Mine is either the Rochers or if we're just going forward, it's got to be a Reese cup.
See, the Rochers are better because they have hazelnut in them and Nutella, and they're delicious, and they're Dutch chocolate, so they have less sugar in them.
Yes. All right, so next deck, I wanted to have a little bit of fun, and this one is great for advice. And so this is what I would go to this one for. This is actually, hold on. This one. This one.
Running away.
Okay, ready? The Golden Girls Tarot.
Oh, that's just hilarious. And of course, we've got Blanche there, who,
As the devil card. I mean, look how sexy she is with that cheesecake, right?
exactly. Now, she developed something. Well, actually, I think the writer developed it. She just created it called the magenta feeling, that is now actually on the emotional list of emotions is magenta.
Yes, I remember her speaking about that in this show. I love that. Just everything all jumbled up together.
Uh-huh. And we get a lot of clients and like they come in all magenta and it's kind of their aura energy is this magenta color because it's all the colors at once. And it's like, oh God, sweetie, what have you gone and done now? And then it's like, oh, go see Lady Gwendolyn Ravenstone. You got too much shadow work to deal with. You got boxes to unpack, suitcases. But we touched on National Chocolate Day coming up and National Self-Love Day coming up. What are some good things for people to do if they haven't found their partner yet? Because everyone all gets all sad, like, oh, I don't have a Valentine's. What should they be doing that day?
Take yourself out on a date. Go out into nature. Explore. Do something that you've been wanting to do for yourself. I mean, even if you don't go out of the house, things that you can do in home. Read a book. Rent a movie. Most people have streaming services now. There are tons of great movies out there. Take a bath. Light some candles. Get that incense going. Get the smell, the energy, that vibe happening.
And then write out what you want in a mate.
That's where the journaling comes in.
And that shadow work of going, do you really need a tall guy? Because every time you date a tall guy, he does X.
Yeah.
Do you really need this? Or do you really this?
Yeah. So think about what you have had and how you would change that. Don't be unrealistic, of course, because these are your goals, but just be kind to your thoughts.
And don't do practical magic like one blue eye and one green eye.
Oh no!
Carry a star, because that's so hard to create. Yeah, and the universe is like, oh, so you want him to have all this? Well, I can just forget about him doing X, Y, and Z.
Right. That's all about the universe trying to compromise. Don't
say that they are forgetful waiters. They never ask if you want salt or pepper. They just assume you want salt or pepper.
Yeah.
They never ask what dressing you want on the salad you're manifesting. They just assume you want Thousand Island.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants Thousand Island. Nobody wants Thousand Island on their salad. It goes on a burger. I
want ranch.
I want low carb ranch.
Yeah.
That's good. But so when are you normally on Keen? When's the best times to reach you?
Okay, so I begin at 8 a.m. and I am online until about 2. I take about a 2-hour break from 2 to 4 p.m. and then I'm back at it until about 7 p.m.
Okay, so you take the midday break like most of us do. I think even everybody else does. And these are Eastern time zones, guys.
Yes.
So if you're international, you have to go and do the math yourself. Just assume that she's 6 hours ahead of you, behind you. Yeah.
But I like starting at 8 o'clock because it's early. I just got done with my meditation and I'm up and raring and I am clear. I've got my energy set and open up to all my clairs are open and ready to give the best reading and the best focus.
What's your perfect client?
I don't have a perfect client.
Okay, what's your dream client? What should they come in with?
I do like the specific questions, but it's more or less okay, I have an idea. I already know what is going on. I just need some clarification.
Okay.
And most of the time, they just don't want to follow their own instincts. They don't understand that they have gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not using them.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of find that a lot, and I've had a couple of them come back and be like, I'm learning the tarot now.
Awesome.
They get so excited. Even if they just come to me for confirmation,
Mm-hmm.
that has led to other things and opened up new avenues for them. So,
And if a client wants to come and work with shadow work with you, they, come in and just say, hey, I want to work with this topic or that topic in shadow work, and you're ready to do that.
absolutely.
Yeah, and because that's kind of your thing. Like, you've really honed into shadow work and dealing with, looking at why you keep dating the same dude, just a different color of the dude.
Yeah.
Or a shorter version or a taller version, but it's all the same dude.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk you through through meditations and things to do to clear your energy and get yourself refocused so that you can think a little bit clearly.
Mm-hmm.
If people want to do that, it really helps. And once you kind of pull back that veil, you come to so much realization, like, oh wow, okay, that's got to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite part.
Right.
Not that they're going to have to go through a tough time, but that they've come to the realization and they're seeing the truth for themselves.
Right. And they're able to actually begin making pattern changes.
Yes, to change that.
Getting what they actually want in their life instead of what they get used to.
Yeah.
And, you work a lot of self-esteem and, giving your clients homework to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's not just give them the information, but it's give them the information so they can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you're one of the ones that has a long extension. So again, just type in Lady Gwendolyn Ravenstone. The
Mm-hmm.
Ravenstone's the important part because there's two Lady Gwens, but you're Lady Gwendolyn Ravenstone on screen. All right, guys. And by the way, the link is in the description. So you can go check her out, catch her. If chat's probably better because that's where she's normally at, although she's doing phone calls now, finally, and I'm very proud of her. And you guys, you will see me again next Friday at 6 p.m. Oh, go for it, honey.
Oh, I was gonna say, if for some reason you don't catch me online, shoot me a message and I'll hop on for you. I'm pretty lenient.
Awesome. All right, guys, you catch me again next Friday at 6 p.m. where we'll be talking about modern spiritualism and, taking a talk with either a teacher, a psychic, an advisor on one of our many platforms. I'm Aeson Knight. Good night, y'all.
Good night.